All right, folks, welcome to week number 2. Now, again, weeks run Thursday to Thursday here. That's just a thing to pay attention to, of course. And so the work here will be due on Monday and Thursday, okay? So we'll typically have 2 turn-ins. Some weeks you won't. This week you will have your first set of 2 turn-ins. Just like last week, you're watching the weekly video right now. We'll have one of these for each week. All right, so what do we got going on? It's a long list, but it's like a lot of like small stuff. Think about this as like if you'd spend 10 minutes in an in-class class doing something, or you might get a piece of homework to do. That sort of stuff is kind of baked into an online class. So where like you might have a reading assignment or assignment to watch a video on something as homework during a face-to-face class, that all just kind of gets piled in here. So sometimes the list looks a little long, but it's typically just kind of the same stuff that you would do in an online class. All right, so here we go. This week for Monday, okay, so this is stuff that is due by Monday, August 25th. So watch your week 2 video, okay, and then there's some reading and some video watching, okay? So this is a reading from one of our e-texts on popular, professional, and scholarly sources. There are 2 videos to watch. I'll show you these in just a second. Need you to listen to a quick podcast, okay? Read a quick article, and then you're going to begin our first research discussion. Lots of online classes will do research discussion, or we'll do discussions every week. We do like 4 over the course of the semester, okay? This was our first one. We kind of do some discussions. We do one about every other week or so during the first half of the semester. The second half of the semester, we spend more time doing individual research and work. So just so you sort of know what's going on. But this will be our first one. We're just going to get you used to the process. Then for Thursday, August 28th, you're going to look at plagiarism materials. You're going to look at Did I Plagiarize? You're going to read Ethical Use and Citing Sources. You're going to complete When to Cite and complete the plagiarism quiz. I'll show you all that. That's all just kind of in one folder about plagiarism. Okay. You're going to write a quick discussion post about AI. Okay. If you have any more questions about citation, you're going to put them into our class Google chat. We used that this past week to do some basic introductions. Anytime you've got a question, just go to the class Google chat. It's a great place to go to for quick questions that don't need one-on-one help, but just kind of need an answer. All right. And then you're going to read the Essay 1 assignment. I want to make a big note here. Essay assignments will always come kind of early in a unit, and it will always be due at the end of the unit. Sometimes the final draft won't even be due till the week after the unit finishes. The rough draft will always be due kind of at the end of the unit. With Essay 1, it'll be due at the end of the unit, so just recognize that that is coming, okay? But I want you to read the assignment, sort of know where we're going. There's an explainer video, I'll show you that, and then we're going to work on some annotations, okay? We're going to use a scholarly study for Essay 1, and we're going to write some annotations of that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the folders over here, which kind of tie to, of course, everything we've got. All right, so, folder number 1, popular versus scholarly articles. Again, you've got that one link, and it'll just pop up and take you to the section you need to read, okay? And then 2 videos, okay? Video on scholarly versus popular articles. This is brought to us from the Jessup Library. And then how to read a scholarly article. This is brought to us from Western University, I think. Both those just quick videos on sort of how to read scholarly articles. And what the difference between scholarly and popular sources are. You probably feel like you know the difference. Please go ahead and go through this. It's going to be super important to understanding what the role of Essay 1 is. All right. That's the first half of stuff for week number 1. The second half I put in a folder here called Research Discussion number 1. We've got Amanda Harper's piece. It's just a very short article. It'll pop open for you. The podcast called Undiscovered should pop open for you, no problem. A couple quick things. If you desire to download this and be able to listen to it while you're working out or something, totally fine. You just use the download link, or you can find this on any podcast app that you're a fan of. It's a free podcast. It's called Undiscovered. The episode is called This Headline Might Kill You. The press release is about the scholarly study that they discuss in the podcast. Okay, podcast about 30 minutes if recollection serves. So just sort of budget some time for that. And then we're going to do a little bit of research discussion. Okay, now there's a question here. You can read it, and I'm trusting that you guys can read this question and figure it out. I am going to put you guys into groups. So in addition to the class Google chat that we've got, you'll see some groups. You'll see like group 1, group 2. You'll only see one group, I guess, because I will see all the groups. I'll be in each one, so I can sort of see what you guys are doing. But it will be a nice place where you guys will work together for the rest of the semester. So all your research discussions will be about 10 of you. And my hope is you guys will work together with peer review and these sorts of things too. So quick explanation here of how to find those, but you'll see this week those class Google or the group Google groups pop up as well. All right. Plagiarism. Okay, did I plagiarize? Ethical use in citing sources, when to cite, and then a plagiarism quiz. Okay, those 4 things here. All right. Do note a couple things. You'll see that some of these don't have due dates on them. It becomes overwhelming on the calendar. If I put due dates on everything, you'll see just this massive list because it's sort of like, I need you to click on this page and read something really short. So yes, I can put a due date on it, but you will get overwhelmed by the list of stuff to do. So just please come to the folders here and pay attention to the list. All right. The final thing here from this section is talking about AI. Again, we're going to use that Google group chat. Okay. And then just some basic questions about your experience with ChatGPT, when you think it's ethical and when you think it's not. Okay? All right, so I'm going to close that folder up. That, you will see, takes us through Monday and the beginning of Thursdays. Plagiarism stuff is due Thursday. All right? Now, a couple last things here. All right? First and foremost, the introduction to essay number 1. Again, this is due at the end of the unit. You don't need to start writing this today. Matter of fact, I strongly recommend you don't start writing it today. Okay? Number 1, there is an Essay 1 explainer. It is a video that explains the essay assignment. Please, 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 please watch that. Okay? It's sort of like the weekly video for this essay. So it's going to explain what we're going for and why we're writing this essay, what the intent is. I work really hard to make these not just an essay that you have to write for class, but an essay with a purpose. In this case, it's going to be a question about whether or not popular news coverage about scholarly research can be trusted. Okay? There's an explanation of the full essay assignment right here. They will all look just about the same. You will see some basic things, these sort of requirements up here, some context and explanation as to why we're doing this assignment. The assignment itself, some questions you might think about. You don't necessarily need to answer them. And some criteria and details here, okay? This will be referred to in the video, so it'll make perfect sense once you watch the video. There is a list of possible topics. You can find your own. There's a little video here on what to do if you want to find your own, but my recommendation is just to pick one of these. My main goal with this essay is for you to get your feet wet, understand what sorts of things we're trying to do, what we're looking for, get some feedback, and then sort of be able to proceed on your future essays, okay? So, this is a list. Again, it's referred to in the video, so go please take a look at it. There is a copy of the essay rubric I will use to grade them here. Just a nice little explanation here. This will be done electronically in D2L, but this is the rubric we'll use. All right. The last thing here is called writing annotations. Now, this video right here, if you click on the writing annotations folder, it should open up a video in the right-hand side of the screen. If you're doing this on a mobile phone, it might be a little bit different and might not be super clear as to where everything is. So I do recommend even a tablet with a big enough screen, you can put it in desktop mode will be helpful. Okay. So there's a little explanation here about annotations and summaries and what they are. Okay, I think most of us learned how to annotate a text, and that's going to look something like this. Oops, gotta click the right link here, right? Where we are going to make notes on a text. Okay, so you might highlight something, you might make comments in the margins, those sorts of things. Okay, so every annotation assignment we do, and we'll do a number for over the course of the semester, it's got two parts to it. One part is to submit a copy of the thing you're annotating, a PDF, for example, of this with notes, okay? And then a written annotation. So what this is a summary, okay? And again, the video here explains this, okay? But what it is, it's a summary with some specific parts. You don't need to color code this. I color code this and identify these chunks so that you can see what I'm looking for. So this is a summary that you're going to write based upon the notes you took on the piece, okay? So you'll have an MLA format works cited entry. You'll introduce your author, source, and their goal. You'll explain their study, what the structure of that study was, what they did, what questions they answered, what those answers are, and then you'll assess the credibility of the study. Again, this is discussed in a little bit more detail here in this video, okay? You're going to write one annotation this week. It will be an annotation of the scholarly study for Essay 1, okay? Again, watch the Essay 1 video. It'll make a little bit more sense as to what we're doing here, all right? But there's a scholarly study and a popular article that you're going to look at. There should be an annotation of the scholarly study. In the olden days, students used to do this on paper and turn in handwritten notes. If you are a person who likes to handwrite notes, feel free, print your scholarly study off, handwrite notes on it, and just take pictures of them and submit them. I'm perfectly okay with that. If you're a digital person, I did give you a link to an app here called the Kami PDF Annotator. It just works with Google Docs. You can upload a PDF and then mark it up with notes. So that's what I typically use. So if you're a digital kind of native and you want to just take notes on this text digitally and never have to deal with a piece of paper, I recommend using Kami. Those of you with iPads have some built-in tools to annotate PDFs, so you might feel free to use something else. Just make sure you can submit it in some form I can see. All right, now, you're going to submit two things. As I said, there are two parts to it. Part number 1, down here, is the notes. This is going to be the marked up article itself, the study with your notes on it, okay? This can be any file format that you can submit to me, okay? PDF is probably going to be the one that makes the most sense. But if it's, again, just images because you typed it out and snapped a picture of everything, or hand wrote out, that's fine. If you end up being a person who likes to take notes separate from your study, you don't want to write on the document, that's fine. You can submit those notes. I just want to see what notes you created. And then the written summary part. You'll see I've marked these. Notes and summary, okay? So two things you're going to submit to two separate folders, all right? I do give you a template here. If you open this link, it will say, do you want to make a copy of this? Go ahead and click yes, okay? Make a copy. It will make a copy of a Google Doc into your Google Drive, all right? All this does is it gives you a little template. You can just type stuff in, okay? I'll use a lot of these over the course of the semester, so this is just kind of our first one. All right. Okay. So that's everything for this week. Lots of small pieces of work, okay? Nothing that's going to be overwhelming. Again, 2 turn-in dates. Pay attention to what's due on Monday and what's due on Thursday. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know.